tattooing for about 10 years now. First tattoo shop in, black-owned tattoo shop in Waldorf, Maryland. Grand opening was December 3rd, and yeah, that's me. That sums up my life.
I'm Tesa. Hey, y'all. I'm a life coach. I help people think differently, feel differently, live authentically so that they can live more fulfilled lives. I'm also a single mom, and I'm single, so cool.
Are you ready to mingle?
I'm definitely ready to mingle.
She's ready to mingle, y'all. She's ready to mingle. I'm Harris on the mic. I'm just the host. Your birthday parties, your bar mitzvahs, your divorce parties, whatever. We can have it going up, or we can sit down and have conversations about culture, communication, this, whatever. Let's get into it. Do you take, if you meet a person of the opposite sex in dating and they say they want to wait till they get married to have sex, how do you view that? Do you take it seriously, and how do you go about it? Or do you go about it at all?
I mean, as a man, you know, respecting a woman, I don't have no choice to respect that decision. You know what I'm saying? If I meet a female and they tell me, they're celibate until they get married, then okay, cool, we're gonna rock out. Because at the end of the day, it's not all about the sexual encounters. It's about what's in the brain too. So if we gotta take the time to get to know each other, it might make the sex better, in my opinion. But that's.
All right, Mr. Wait on it. You see me though. You see me though.
I'm gonna answer that as me, and then not as me, or whatever.
As a life coach, and as Tesa. Okay.
As me, I actually love that because that's something that I strive for. So if a person wants to come to me and say that, I'd be all for it. Like I'd be like, yeah, we on the same page. If flip side of that, it's all about just being transparent, right? Like just being upfront. Like the person that you meet, you know what I'm saying? Being transparent about the fact that you do want to wait, and then that other person, like, don't say you with it if you not with it. Don't say you with it if you want to try. You know what I mean? Late night, put on some R&B, give her a little wine, like, you know what I mean? Like if you're not for helping him or her maintain that boundary for themselves, don't entertain it and just be honest about that.
Yeah, sorry to cut you off, but it shows true colors too with most people. You know, like you can meet somebody and they might say they want to do these things or whatnot, and the opposite sex like, I'm all for it. And they'd be like, I could find a way to avoid that. That right there is a strike.
Yeah, that's the point.
I think it's dangerous. I think it's dangerous. I feel like if you have somebody that's open enough and honest enough to say, hey, I think you're cool, but when it comes to that, I would rather wait. To proceed with that person knowing that you're just trying to wait till those boundaries fall, till they change or try to convince them otherwise, I think it's dangerous. I always say not having intention is just as bad as having bad intentions, but I think that's bad intention. Yeah. Not having intention for how you want to spend your time and share that space with that person is one thing, but saying like, Shorty said, he ain't trying to do this or she not trying to do this, but I'm gonna go ahead and knock it down just for the sake of it. I think it shows a deeper problem with their own ego.
Come on. Yeah. Come on.
I feel like it shows an issue with that person, and they they probably should be dating at that time. Yeah. But I'm not a life coach.
Nah, that's word right there.
Before we get any further, this is not therapy. This is not any kind of form of this is what you should do. However, we're three regular people who live very regular lives with a little spice, a little razzle, and we're just here to talk about it. If you feel like you need help, or you want further information on a topic, please talk to a therapist, talk to a psychologist, talk to your doctor. We are not it. We are three regular people just here having regular conversation. So let's talk about this. How do we change the view of how people look at us? If you feel like if I feel like I walk into a room and I give off a bad vibe and I want to change the way people receive or view me, how would I do that?
Ego.
Ego? Okay.
I mean, side note, I've been reading this book called Ego is Your Worst Enemy. I advise everybody to read the book. Okay. The first 3 pages of that book had me think about myself way different. First 3, Wow. So I tell a lot of people, if you walk in a room and you feel like you should always have that positive mentality that you are a star. You know what I'm saying? That shows off good energy as a whole. But to transform a negative energy to a positive, it is simply just checking yourself. You know what I'm saying? What is something that's wrong with me that I need to get myself better at so everybody else can look at me different? You know what I'm saying? Like if I come into a room and people look at me as a arrogant person, okay, maybe I need to shut up. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I need to keep my voice to a minimum so I can, of course, feel a vibe out to the crowd. But, you know, does that make sense?
That makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense.
I'm just making sure.
You got to be thinking like, okay.
Yeah.
I would say it's not your business.
Ooh, okay.
I would say it doesn't matter what other people think about you.
Ooh, okay. We got some okay.
You know what I mean? Like when you walk into a room, be who you are. You know what I mean? And people who are supposed to feel you, who are for you, you know what I mean? Who are your people, they going to. And those that aren't your people. And what people think about you ain't your business.
It's your problem.
It's how you feel about yourself at the end of the day.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Just be yourself. Be yourself.
I like that.
I like that way better.
I agree with both aspects. I agree with the fact that you should check your ego. And I think a lot of times, us growing up, we don't have many things that say check your ego other than that situation humbling you. And then you're like, okay, well, my ego may have been the driving force in that. I also think you got to know who you are, and it's not your problem. I would probably say off the break, check your mirror. And by check your mirror, is make sure that you're seeing yourself as clear as possible. So all the dust, dirt, and grime, or all the sticky notes and the pretty pictures that you've drawn on the mirror, clean that off and see who you are for who you are, and then move from that.
That's good.
Because if you see that, then you see that your ego is a problem. Yeah, or you see you may be a people pleaser, or you may be trying to seek validation in a different area. If you check your mirror, you know who you are first off, and then it helps you move on everything else. But that's good. We had a few snaps.
Can I add one thing to that? I'm gonna just add one thing to that.
Go ahead.
I have a podcast called Escapade to Expansion.
Plug it.
And we talked about this on our episode Owning Your Shit.
That was the title of it?
Yeah, that was the title of it.
I love it, you know?
The part of like looking into the mirror, like there's a balance, right? Yeah, it's not I say that it's not our business what other people think about us. However, when we are in relationship with people who are close to us and they are experiencing us, right? They have experienced us. Meaning they have something to, you know what I mean? They have some type of credibility. If we are hearing something about ourselves more than one time, check that ego and please listen. Right? Yeah, like if somebody is telling, if you heard something about yourself more than one time from different people, please don't dismiss it. But I'm just saying, just look into it, you know what I mean? Just look into it.
Because we know how it goes. Like, you know, let's say you're in a romantic relationship, let's say for 2 years. And a year and a half of those 2 years, you've been hearing the same thing.
Yeah.
That person leaves based off of that, you know, it takes that humbling experience for you to check your ego and be like, okay, so this is really what it is.
I mean, to piggyback off of it, I think a lot of people need to hear a second opinion. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people have their own mindset of how they want to tunnel vision their life path or whatnot. But sometimes, like, your track might not be on track. You know what I'm saying? You might be on a whole different path than what you're perceiving yourself to be. You know what I'm saying? So I think if people would sit right here and, like, be honest about that person and let them know, like, look, this is a problem and it's not going to work out for me if you continue to do it. You know? So
I like that.
If you check it, it's up to you to fix it. If you don't fix it, you done lost a diamond. You know?
Hey.
Okay, let's not lose one of them.
You know what I'm saying? Nah.
All right, let's keep it moving. Okay, I want to talk about boundaries because in that you have to have boundaries within yourself and you have to put them in place for others to respect. If you feel like your boundaries aren't being respected, or how do you feel like you need to have those boundaries, how do you put them in place? And I don't want to say enforce, but ideally it is enforced. How do you enforce that? Like, this is my line with this. How do you do that if you find yourself having difficulty with that?
Not y'all both look at me.
So give us how Tesa does it, and give us how Tesa, the health coach, would suggest or advise doing it.
That is actually the same.
Okay.
Setting boundaries. Well, I'm not gonna say let's be real because everybody's experiences are different. But I'll speak from my own experience, coming from a recovering people pleaser. That setting boundaries is not necessarily an easy thing for me to do. It's never been an easy thing for me to do. So communicating, understanding that if it's uncomfortable for you to set a boundary in the beginning, the uncomfortableness is going to be there for a while, right? You're naturally going to feel like you're being mean, like it's going to feel really uncomfortable. Don't allow that uncomfortability to shy you away from setting that boundary, communicating what that boundary is, right? But communicating what it is that you need or you don't need or don't want or you won't allow to that person, and depending on who the person is, let's just say it's somebody that you care about and it's somebody important to you in a loving way, and you don't, I believe in the let your no be no, but if it's somebody that's important to you, offering an explanation on why that boundary is important to you will help them be able to see it from your perspective, right? It will present the opportunity for them to see it from your perspective. So communicating what that line is, offering an explanation into why the boundary is important to you, and then you yourself have got to know yourself. Like, let's be real. When you're in there are walls, right? There are boundaries that are like walls, right? Like really high, like nobody's coming in, right? Then there are people that have walls. Then there are people who don't have any gate in front of their house, and anything just happens, right?
Just wide open.
The goal, right, is to have a fence. You know what I'm saying? That can open and close, and you hold the key on to who can open and close that gate. In relationship, when you have with people, when you have a boundary, let's say I communicate a boundary to you and I say this is important to me, and you're like, okay, I can respect that, or I can't respect that. I have the option on identifying how important that boundary is to me, on if I want to lower that boundary, right? Or say that's something I can't deal with and I got to walk away. Right? So it's really once you set that boundary and you communicate it, listening to the person on the communicating how important it is, listening to the person on the receiving end, and then yourself knowing how important that boundary is to you, right? If it's jeopardizing your core values, who you are as a person, if it's making you feel completely unsafe, if it's changing you, like those are really things that are important that you might want to be like, if you can't respect this boundary, I gotta go.
You gotta stand.
We can't be in a relationship.
You gotta stand
you know what I'm saying? It's really about knowing yourself and knowing how important that boundary is to you, and knowing, like, the hard part is, like you said, enforcing that boundary. Like, you got to do the hard part.
I agree.
That's the part about boundaries. You got to do the hard part when somebody crosses that boundary or doesn't respect that boundary.
Put your foot down.
Yeah, like, that's the part that we miss all the time.
And I think it starts with us respecting the boundary.
I'm
not gonna sit here and be like, oh, I'm not gonna do this if I know I'm gonna go do this. And then the minute I tell you that I'm not gonna do this and you see that I do this, I'm gonna get mad at you not respecting my boundaries. I don't respect my boundaries. So again, I think just like much of the situation, it goes back to cleaning that mirror. And just know what you can take and what you can't. And you can have different boundaries with different people. I can say, Trey, when me and you hang out, we can drink all day, but I can't drink with you, because when I drink with you, it's a problem.
Absolutely.
So it's just a matter, I think it's just a matter of, again, cleaning that mirror and just knowing what you have to do for you. Having the people around you that you trust and that trust you to say, hey, listen, we're cool, but this is a boundary that I have to set. And at the end of the day, I feel like we're better people for it, ourselves. It's about being the best person to yourself. That's what I'm gonna always kick it. In the vein of boundaries, in the vein of boundaries, my mother is overbearing, doesn't allow me to be myself, I don't know how to handle the situation. What do I do? If we have an overbearing mama, shout out to all the black mamas that's watching.
Shout out to
I am a black mama, okay? Shout out to all the black mamas. If you have a mother that is overbearing and you feel like you can't be yourself, how do you work with that?
Me personally, based off my personal, life that I have, I won't say my mom was overbearing. I would say don't beat me up, Mom. Please don't beat me up.
We love you, Mama.
I love you so much. I would say my mom, she wanted the best for me. That's the best way I could describe her. So based off of what she experienced with life, she don't want me to go down that path.
Right.
She's going to teach me the ways. But in my defense, I never thought that was the right way. My whole life as a person, I wanted to be a tattoo artist. I always dreamt about doing it, So me telling her that, it was like, no. You know what I'm saying? We need to push you here. We need to push you there and all that stuff. And it's like, I don't want to be that. So I call myself the generational curse. I'm the only person in my family that owns a business, that's successful. the best way I can give off as far as advice is just staying focused on what your dream is, no matter who's telling you what they're saying, and like take every information that you can get and relate the bad to the bad and relate the good to the good, and you throw away what you can keep. I mean, you keep what you can keep and throw away what you don't want to keep. But I always remain focused as far as my dreams, and I had to prove them wrong. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing. A lot of people fall short on it because they don't see it through. They don't believe in themselves. They let people get into their heads or whatnot, and it could be your mom, it could be your dad. You know, it could be somebody very close to you that could get in your head, and you might fall away from your dream. So if you just stay focused on what you want to do and put your best foot forward, you'll be fine. You just gotta trust the process.
Yeah.
I want to jump in there. Don't call yourself a generational curse. You may be the break to the curse.
Yeah, the generational curse breaker.
Yeah,
right.
let's do that.
Okay.
Let's do that.
There we go.
Let's be the difference. Let's not
Can we do one of these? Yeah.
company.
I ain't
walking around with too many curses. Okay.
Yeah, okay, no curse on me, no.
Say, if you're doing something that, man, my mama told me, a week ago, 2 weeks ago, that I was supposed to be her $1 million baby. Because I'm not a doctor or a lawyer, or I didn't, I'm not trying to convince somebody, like, I'm worth your check, because I'm out here trying to get it the best way I know how, that fits me and how I do it. You know what I'm saying? I'm at the point now, I'm getting paid to run my mouth. Man. All I did was get in trouble in school. All I did was get, that's what I'm saying. So when she was like, "You supposed to be my $1 million baby." I am your $1 million baby. I'm just not doing it. I'm gonna do it tatted and pierced and high and with a little liquor in my system. I'm gonna do it different. That don't mean that I can't be your $1 million baby. You know what I mean? So don't call yourself a generational curse. You may be the breaker, because you're breaking that bond and you're breaking that hold of like having to conform to other people's expectation. You're doing it. You look at us.
Yeah,
like,
you
look
are
at us
the
right
breaker,
now, and you did it. You could have went and did whatever your mama told you to do and be as unhappy, as miserable as you could have been. But you making money, you tatted, you out here, you're winning, you're doing what you said you would do. I wouldn't call yourself a curse.
Respect.
I wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
I'm just snap
We gonna
on
snap
that,
on
because
that.
y'all doing exactly what I like to be. What about
Man, we breaking out of there now. We're breaking out of there now.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think honestly with the older crowd, and I'm not shaming anybody, I'm not bashing no older person or whatnot, but they've been so embedded and embedded with life. Like they was forced to do a lot of things that they probably didn't want to do. You know what I'm saying? So when we grow up in this world, they just want us to do the right thing. But I feel as though in this generation, it's like it's enough of that. It's enough of us trying to fall behind of what I'm gonna say the American ideal is. Like
we're done with that.
Yeah,
we're not interested in that
at all. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, how we want to have an American dream and you don't even want us in America. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my biggest thing. You feel me? So
now, Trey.
Nah, for real. Now, like, Trey. And I could go deep with it, because we was here first, if you ask me. You know what I'm saying? But that's it.
Mind your business.
Man, I'm just minding my business.
Yeah,
but I just think, like as a new generation, it's time for us to wake up. It's time for us to say, like, forget what y'all want us to do. We're gonna do our thing, because, like you said, I can sit right here and be a $1 million baby too, off of what I do. I wake up and make my own money, my own schedule, and my own time. You know what I'm saying? Why can't you do it neither? So it'd be times I could walk around in public and people would look at me and be like, "Why are you messing your pretty face up and all this crazy stuff?" And I'm like, "You don't even know what I do." You know what I'm saying? Like, it's mind your business.
And I'm still pretty. You're still pretty.
Thank you.
Look at that. I was about to say perception.
But I just think it's time for us to say, forget what the world just brought to us. Like, we have our own life to live, so that we have our own world to create. So that's how I look at the whole, way of life.
Yes.
I like that.
Yeah, amen.
Yeah,
no, I love it. Like, to your point, I think we are the generation that is blessed to not have to be a certain way. Like, our parents and our parents' parents, a lot of their life was about survival. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, we, luckily, blessed, we don't live that experience. So we have the opportunity to be exactly who we want to be, how we want to be, as proud as we want to be, as loud as we want to be it, right? And I understand, to that point, I understand why our parents have a difficult time with accepting that, but like y'all living, just continue to live out who you are, live out your dreams, and our parents either are gonna accept that and catch up to it, or they're gonna be uncomfortable. But that's not our problem.
I really think they, and this is me agreeing with you. I think a lot of our parents, or our aunties and our uncles, whoever reared us, are the ones that they had to survive. And we don't move off of how we can survive. We bet on us.
Yep.
And so we have these crazy dreams of making money off YouTube or singing or our shirts and doing tattoos, when it was like, no, go to school, get a job, convince somebody that you're worth 20, 30-year retirement with minimal pay, because that was safe for them. You get a good government job, they were good, and we'll take a good. I got a good kind of government job.
It work.
You know what I'm talking about? But we bet on ourselves, and we choose to move the way we need to move. So it's important to me that I show my baby girl that we decide how we make money now. We don't fall into the program. We decide how we make money now, and I think I want to say stick with it. I want to encourage all of us and anyone else in the room, if you're trying to figure out what their creative flow is, stick with it and don't fall to the expectations of what's safe. And do what you have to do to transition out of survival mode so that you can thrive in what you're really supposed to be. So you can really move for what you need to do. All right, let's get into it. I got a question from a person. All right. How do I tell, my boyfriend is timid in the bedroom. So this person's lover is timid in the bedroom, and she's trying to figure out, how can I tell him I want him to blow my back out for real? Like what? How do you have and those are the words of the question. Those are not my question. You know what I'm saying? But to the viewer, if I have a boyfriend or I have anybody that's in the bedroom with me and they're a little timid, they're a little shy, how do I let them know I want it turned up a little bit? Like how do we have that conversation?
Don't look at me.
I actually had a guy say to me one time, you just want to blow your back out, and I'm like, no, that's not what I actually want. I just want you to be able to stay hard. But
okay.
I need some water.
Water in here.
As a woman, dealing with a man's ego, particularly when it comes to sex, is a very delicate thing. It's super delicate, y'all. It's very, very delicate. I would, my first suggestion, and I don't even know if this is right, but my first suggestion would be to learn how to communicate when you're having sex in a soft woman way that we know how to be. You know what I mean?
You said a tutorial?
Yeah, when you're in the act, because I've heard that from the right person, right? Like when men are open to receiving like instruction. So when you're in the act, like guiding him, you know what I'm saying? Like speak to him, turn on your sexy voice, you know what I'm saying? Daddy, a little harder, you know what I mean?
Wow,
like,
okay.
But I'm just saying, like, use it, be in the moment to instruct him. And then, like, if he listens, hopefully he listens, but if that doesn't work, then, you know what I mean? When y'all done, like, just trying to have a conversation with him about, like, I like it when you do this, like, and I would say sandwich it in between, like, tell him something that he's really good at.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I like it when you be like, whatever. And I really would like it if you could, you know what I mean, speed up the motion a little bit or the pace a little bit or whatever the case may be.
I feel you. As a man perspective, oh my lamb, I feel like I'm on the spot.
Oh my lamb.
As a man perspective, I don't know. This is advice for females. You gotta.
Women.
A woman. I'm sorry. Please don't beat me up. Please.
We're not gonna. We're gonna be gracious. Females can be anything. It can be a dog, a cat. We women.
I feel you. As a woman, you know what I'm saying.
Appreciate it.
I just tell them you just gotta know that person. You know that falls into what we talked about. You know, in the future, like. Like getting to know that person, like a lot of men in this world, like they very egotistic and they think they got a point to prove in bed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm gonna dominate, I'm gonna do this, so I'm gonna like. And I tell a lot of men personally, like it's a difference between having sex, effing, and making love. It's totally different things. So if you want to find somebody just to get your rocks off, then you need to find that person. But it's a lot of women in this world that wants to feel love, that wants to, be touched in all angles, no matter what shape, body, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. You gotta have a post-game interview. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, a post-game interview. Like, and when I'm done, I'm like, hey, what happened? You know what I'm saying? Like, what I need to do? Yeah, like, why you not playing? You know? Like, it has to be a post-game interview. But that could kind of tell what you need to work on, and what you need to stop doing. You know what I'm saying? But I tell a lot of men, stop forcing stuff. Don't force it.
Yeah, don't chase it. Yeah, don't chase a track. Oh my God.
At the end of the day.
Yes, it comes off very creepy.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that post-game interview, I would say, like, yo, I know it's really uncomfortable when you early on in the relationship, but the earlier on that you could be honest about your sexual experiences, the better.
The less time you waste.
You know what I mean? Like, don't have that nigga thinking that he killing it for like 6 months and he's not. Don't be in the bed faking orgasms.
Let's not fake orgasms.
Yeah, let's not fake
orgasms.
I would go in a bubble for the rest of my life if I found out somebody fake.
But it happens. I'm trying to tell you, it happens. Like, you thinking about laundry, you know, you got Grey's Anatomy about to come on.
I tell you stuff. I
mean, I don't have that problem anymore. But, you know what I'm saying? God bless
I'm kind of mad now. I'm over there thinking like,
I don't.
Yo, don't post interviews.
Yeah, no, facts. I
think it surprises me at this age how many people are having sexual relations, like they're in relationships with people where they meet for sexual encounters on a regular basis and they don't talk about it.
Facts.
They don't talk about it. And it's like, you know, the group chats are growing up and the subliminal messages are happening, but you're not talking to your partner. Facts. And I think that is prime time for issue. Like if you're not, I think communication is key. And if you're vulnerable enough to be with that person in that avenue or in that arena, why can't you talk about it?
Facts.
And a lot of us aren't comfortable. I know a lot of people, they aren't doing it. And I think that's one that it's a basis of communication. Where it's just have the pregame, the during, and the postgame interview. Like, I don't want my partner thinking like, you know, it shouldn't be a chore, or like, you know, that she not doing it the way it should be done, or it could be done. I want it out the park every time. I want you afraid to think about it at work.
As a woman,
but all that stuff takes point of like how you present it too. You know what I'm saying? A lot of men, they just come in and be like, come on, let's just do it. And I'd be like, no, that's not helpful. You know what I'm saying, for your situation.
So if you're not hitting it right, according to her, you taking your ego out the game. If you're not hitting it right, if you're not doing it right, how would you want to be told? How would you want her to speak to you about it?
I mean, honestly, I like everything up front. Be honest with me, you know.
Straight up.
Because, you know, with success comes failure, you know what I'm saying, at the end of the day. So if I'm failing in this, if I'm failing in this part, you know, then let me know so I can do better, and I'm gonna go, you know, do what I need to do. But I don't want anything to be sugarcoated on my half. You feel me? So yeah, like if you really need to tell me that I'm not in this part or this section, then you need to let me know so I can do better next time. You know.
What about you?
I'm gonna go back to give me instruction while we doing it. Like, let me know. Like, you want it harder, faster, softer, like wetter, like
options. Check
like
the
whatever.
boxes.
Like,
she's gonna create a instruction manual. You have a whole instruction manual laid on the side of the bed.
I think because I ain't gonna get into details, but
we're grown here.
Even if that's not the case, like afterwards, like we having a conversation, like particularly when it's early on in the relationship, I love the conversation of, so like, were you satisfied? Like a lot of people are uncomfortable with that, but let's talk about it. Like, were you satisfied? Like,
I'm gonna ask you straight up. I'm gonna ask you that. Was that good for you? I'm gonna ask you because I can feel like a rock star. Like I did that.
Let me tell you something. This how I know.
Was that good for you? Was that all right for you? When I get that yes, it's like, all right, cool. Let's run it back.
This how I know I did something right. You need some juice.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? She's not making no sandwich if you're not doing it right, bro.
And if she's not thirsty, you ain't doing nothing right.
Like you need something. Nah, I'm good. Just go ahead and go home.
You get out of bed, you look over, she got a TV grid cut on, you ain't do nothing right. Like
I'm tell you something. This is free advice. If that person's not feeding you, you're not hitting it right.
Oh yeah, nah, facts.
If they not bringing you snacks, if they not bringing your own little whatevers, you're not hitting it right. Because you get the snacks when you hitting it right? You got to get the
You be
snacks.
hungry, thirsty, and all
I just want to take a second again. We are here at Ink Therapy in Waldorf, Maryland, with my man Trey, the owner. This is Project 9419. We're doing a great thing, sitting here just having the conversations. I'm here with Trey.
Yeah.
I'm here with Miss Tesa, the life coach, licensed life coach, but also a person. I'm Harris on the mic, your host for the evening. And again, we are not therapists. We are not professionals. We just regular people talking about regular things, living regular lives.
Right.
Let's go into the parenting. Do you have children, Trey?
Yeah.
Okay, so you have. We all mamas and daddies out here.
Yeah.
In dating, if you meet someone that you may have a different parenting style, then how do you have that conversation of what's best for the child?
So me personally, I never been in that situation where we have to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Like if you have your child and I have my child, we have to bring it together. I never been in that situation, but as far as like what I've experienced with having kids and meeting, you know, other women that don't have kids and they have to adjust to what I have going on, like I kind of be, you know, I lay everything out in a few beginnings of like us communicating, us conversing with each other. Like, yes, I have kids. This is how I raise my kids. This is what we believe in and stuff like that. And it's really up to you to accept that information. If you don't respect it, then honestly, I put my kids first, so I can't do nothing with you. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, but as far as like parenting skills or whatnot, I just think what makes sense the most should be more taken care of. You know, if you have that mindset of where you think this is better, but it's not logically making sense, then maybe you should take it on this matter and then see if it works. But everything comes with trying. So, you know, that's how I feel it though. Try first, and if it don't work out, then we back to the drawing board to see how we can raise these kids.
I would say pay attention. The people that you're dating, like if you have the opportunity to listen to them talk to their children or see them interact with their kids, pay attention. And then when you see something that they're doing, ask them why they do it. Ask them why they parent the way that they parent and where that comes from.
Right.
I'm wholeheartily against, I just had this conversation with my child's father not too long ago, wholeheartedly against the, I do it this way because this is the way I was raised and my parents did to me and I turned out fine. If that's what you tell me, we probably not about to do this together.
Because I had to deal with you. You're not fine and they did not do well.
Yeah, not at all.
The ball was dropped.
So yeah, like really asking like why they parent the way they parent or why they react the way they react to a certain situation. And then to your point, when the kids finally do interact or before they interact and y'all talking about how y'all parent, communicating your parenting styles. And as a mom, because moms are super protective,
yes,
please be with somebody that has a similar parenting style to you because dating somebody that has the opposite parenting style than you as a mom, we not gonna last.
It's not gonna work. Cause we're not gonna hear it. It's my baby.
Yeah.
I'm not, and what you do for your kid may work and that's cool, but that's my baby and I'm not about to sit here and ask no questions about it. And it's hard. It's hard. Do you guys have a hard stop or a non-negotiable on whether you date people with children or don't have children?
No. I do.
You do?
Yeah.
Well, I don't have a hard stop. I prefer to date people with children because they understand. I've tried to date people, and not that I won't date people without children, but dating people with children is better for me because they understand like the scheduling, the time consumption. Like they've had experience on learning like, oh, crap.
Yeah.
I'm acting like my parent and this ain't right. Like, why this don't make sense? You know what I'm saying? They've had the experience of like questioning like their own upbringing and developing their own parenting style. People that don't got kids, it's a lot they don't understand. It's a lot they don't understand.
Is it the same for you?
I have more, so, you know, past lives, I had more problems dating with kids, like dating women with kids and stuff like that because they have their own mindset of how to raise their kids. Me personally, I think more logically with it. I still have my emotional attached with my kids, of course, you know, but when it comes down to situations, they have their own opinions and I have mine, so it's more of a head bumping thing. I've dated women without kids and they understand me more because they see how I have girls, you know what I'm saying? So I have to act a different way. I have to treat them a different way. They're not males, you know what I'm saying? They don't have the you know, the energy that we have. Feel me?
Right.
So meeting females that knows I have kids, they respect me more because they see how I treat a woman. You know, they see that I can handle with care. You know, so it'd be more easier for me dating with people without kids. You know, if that makes sense.
So I used to, that was like bring your own kid. You bring your kid, I bring mine.
We good.
When we leave, I leave mine, you bring yours.
It's a kickback, bring your own kid,
But I
man.
found myself falling into the trap of the different parenting styles.
Ooh.
Dating someone that was dating someone that was younger who had their kid earlier than me. So, you know, they had been a parent longer than I've been a parent, but they were younger, so they were the younger, hipper parent, and I'm just like, nah, we not doing that. And I found myself in a situation like my relationship now, my partner doesn't have any natural born children of their own, but it's easier because she's like, listen, that's your lane. I ain't trying to be a number two to you, but I'll support you in that. And it's easier for me because I don't have a pre-established necessarily parenting style to fight with or to combat.
Yeah.
It's just like, this is how we parenting, this is how we parenting.
Yeah.
And it's pretty much the same thing. I just found it to be a little easier because them different parenting styles.
It be rough.
It's crazy.
It be real rough.
Or parenting styles different from the way you were parenting. Like, I'm not about to do what you did, mama, and them.
And I think mostly because, like what you were saying earlier, like they fall based off of how they was raised. You know?
Right.
Like,
a lot of people.
A lot of people that I meet with kids and everything, even like if a kid's being bad and everything, they resolve in conflict as far as like, you know, I'm calling it abuse. I don't care no.
Yeah, abuse.
Say what you gotta say.
You know, like, but with me, you know, like I said, me having girls, like I can't react in that way. So I have to talk to them. I have to sit them down and be more verbal about their actions and whatnot. So me and people who I know that will beat their kids for no reason, stuff like that. Like, I mean, I come from a household, we got beaten for every little thing, you know. And I told myself when I get older, I'm not gonna have that because beatings don't teach a lesson at all. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're just gonna go to school with a bruise the next day and you're gonna be mad. You're gonna, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna cause a lot of domino effects, but it's not gonna be good. So I don't know. I just feel as though like people need to change how they deal with conflict with their kids. Like,
Fact.
that's like the biggest issue.
Like the idea of apologizing to your child.
Oh yeah, that's big.
People don't do that.
That is
Our
big.
parents don't apologize.
That's
What?
big.
But sitting there like, Mommy, sorry, I shouldn't have raised my voice, you know, and then I'm hitting you like, it's okay, I understand, you know, or giving them that. I try to pour into my daughter emotionally. I want her emotional intelligence to be on one. So when you're not out here getting fooled by any Joe Schmo that's just telling you whatever, like you know for yourself. And that makes you a more decent human to have your emotional intelligence somewhat intact. Don't be the sharpest one in the classroom, but you can't think for yourself when it's time to make those decisions, or you don't know what you feel, what you're feeling.
Yeah.
It's important that my daughter know what she's feeling and can even to me, even if she needs to set a boundary for me. Like, Mommy, I really don't like when you do that.
That part.
Yeah.
Being able to be like,
Dang.
Yep.
because at first I'm like, who are you talking to? But it's like, you know what? I respect it.
That's her
Because
boundary.
it brings you to being that well-rounded human being. And at the end of the day, that's all I'm here to do.
Fact.
When I release you to the world, God bless y'all's soul when this girl get up out of my hands. But my whole thing is to make you a well-rounded person so that you can move and shake the way you need to move and shake for you.
Exactly.
And I can't teach her that unless she knows how to. If she can set a boundary with me, when whoever little raggedy sons come up with, she can set a boundary. If she can come against me, her mama, then she can set that boundary. And knowing that if you love me, you'll respect that boundary because my mama and my daddy did.
Yep.
Of course.
That she can come to us and be like, I'm not really with this, I don't like this, I'm not comfortable with this, and we respect it. She'll have, she'll have the expectation. These are my boundaries, and you can get with it or not.
Yep.
She can get with it or not.
That's facts.
I had another question from someone speaking about making money using their creative gifts. And I think that is prime time for us as we're sitting here as entrepreneurs and trying to make our own lane. How would you advise someone that's saying, listen, I want to make money? Like we all have the thing of we want to do it for the passion.
Yeah.
I'm passionate about the culture and I love bringing people together. And you know, what's your thing again? I love it every time I hear it. What you say? Do you like people to feel your spiel? What's your spiel as a coach?
What I just said: think differently, feel differently, live authentically, so that they can fulfill.
I think that's beautiful. Someone that says they want to do that. using their creative gifts? How would you advise them to do that?
As far as like getting into the game of like what you're passionate about, I'm gonna speak off my experience. Like me, I always knew how to draw. I knew drawing was my thing. I knew I could draw on a piece of paper. I knew I could tattoo on the skin. And I told myself, like, I could make a career out of this. Wow, that's deep. Because I'm like me personally, I'm very passionate about what I do. I don't say I don't care about the money because I have bills to pay, I have kids to feed or whatnot, but I don't let the money consume me completely, you know, because a lot of people are getting into the game and they get like their head gets very like huge, you know what I'm saying? And then the money's distracting them of what they really want to do. So I mean, my advice, I just tell people just stick with the game. Just try to remain focused and create a standpoint of income where you know you can be comfortable and also live your life that you want to live. You know, like you don't want to beat people over the head with pricing and end up scaring your business away, but also you don't want to undercut yourself too. So it's really just learning the game. I tell a lot of people go to other people with the same business and see how much they charge, see how much how they handle their business or whatnot.
Do your research.
Yeah, basically do your research and you bring that back within yourself and it's okay, I could do it just like this, but change it up here, but still be original at the end of the day. So,
okay.
Yeah.
I actually struggled with that myself when I first started becoming a life coach because I very much started with the whole thought process, like I just want to help people, like I just want to inspire, like, and what helped me is the mindset of structuring your business to allow people who can afford to pay you and allow it to drive your passion and to feed people who necessarily can't afford your services, right? So thinking of it as a business, right? Like there's nothing wrong with having a passion. I know for me, the underlying feeling was fear. Into why I was saying like, it's just my passion. Like I just want to live my passion, right? It was the fear that like I wasn't good enough, right? And continuing to put myself out there to continue to walk in my passion and then structuring a business. And then again, the model being market to people, structure your business to people who can afford to pay you, and then use that money to serve the people who can't necessarily afford your services.
That makes sense.
I agree with all that. I'm gonna say tap into what feeds you and remove yourself away from what's depleting you, because it's all an energetic thing. If you're not cheering me on, if you're not supporting me, if you're not saying I'm gonna show up, I don't mess with you, because I'm new to the game as far as hosting as a profession. And having people introduce me or come to me like, hey, your hair's on the mic, your hair's on the mic, versus just like, oh, you the one that just hosted that, like you're a whole brand now.
Yep.
And I don't have time to be around people who be like, you really gonna make money doing that?
Yeah.
Or how far you think that's about to go? I'm my mama's $1 million baby, so I'm gonna go as far as I need to go with it. And I don't have time to have the conversations with people who are fearful of doing it themselves, and then they project on me.
Amen.
Because my mirror is clear. You know what I'm saying? My mirror is clear, so I know what I can take and what I can't take. I know I need my cheerleaders. I know I need my homie driving all the way from Laurel, thank you, Angie, to come sit in the tattoo shop and can't really do nothing. You know what I'm saying? I need that. I don't need, oh, you doing another? Yeah, I'm doing another event. You coming or not?
Right.
You know, it's so you have to know what you need, and you just gotta go for it.
You do.
You know, I've heard the saying like, do it scared.
Yep.
And a lot of people agree or don't agree with that, but just do it, because what we can't afford to do, I know what I can't afford to do, and it's something that I encourage is you get to a place where you want to do something so bad that it's keeping you up at night.
Yes.
And it's the thing that you're thinking about. You can't afford not to do that, because as time goes by, and it's not waiting for nobody. As time goes by, you're sitting there trying to figure out what you need to do, and you need to do what you need to do for you. If you try it and you try and you try and you fail, then fine.
Okay.
But if you don't even try, you don't know what you could have been. If Beyonce was scared, come on, bruh.
Man.
If Erica was scared, like if they just didn't do it, if Kendrick was scared and they was like, well, we missed out on the greats, and we could very well be the next great sitting on somebody's couch.
And that's the crazy part. I had an incident with a family member of mine. When I got into the game, got into tattooing and whatnot, they always tried to downplay what I did. So we're all sitting at the table, and they talking about, oh, why don't you want to come work for the post office? I'm just like, I don't want to work for the post office. And he's like, you can do whatever you want. You can make this X amount of dollars. You can take trips whenever you want to do and do all this. I said, I could do the same thing on my time. You know what I'm saying? So the problem that I looked into it, and it kind of killed her bubble. I asked her, what did you always wanted to do? You know what I'm saying? What was your passion in your life? She said she wanted to be a chef. So I'm like, why didn't you do it?
Right.
She literally said she ran from it. She was scared. And I said, well, now look at you working for somebody else.
Right.
And
asking to take off.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So I was just telling her, like, I didn't get into her field of like negativity. I said my piece and I left it at that. And I went upstairs to reflect on myself. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even hear the words that she kept saying. Like, I went upstairs and I was just like, what can I do to shit on people? What can I do to make people to prove them wrong? And like literally to this day, she never been in my shop. She never seen how my accomplishments was and all that stuff. But I'm pretty sure if I see you in Dubai, I came here on my own terms.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So,
and you had to get your leave
you know what I'm saying? You probably didn't get your PTO. You just went on. But I just tell a lot of people, man, just ignore all that negativity, what people put into your system, because like it's going to scare you away. It's going to put you in fear, So like you said, the Kendrick wouldn't be where he was at without doing it. Beyonce wouldn't be where she at without doing it. So if I could see them as being somebody that's on a holy grail, that's doing their thing, I know I can do it too, Because
we are the same
we all
thing.
human. We the same.
We got the same time. So we're going to take a 5-minute break, wrap it up so we can refresh ourselves. Y'all stick with us. We'll be right back. All right, this is Harris on the mic. We are here again with Project 9419 at Ink Therapy in Waldorf, owned by my man Trey right here.
Yeah, of course.
What's going on with you? What's going on with you today?
As far as business, there's a lot of things going on.
Okay.
Business, we're going to get everything launched off around the summertime.
Okay.
A little stuff that we provide for the shop. We got a thing called Trade Tuesdays.
Okay.
So every third month out of each month, every third Tuesday out of each month, we do something where you can barter trade something very valuable for a tattoo. We use this system to try to take away the currency, because currency is the root of all evil. So back in the day, everybody barter traded for goods and services. So that would be, something that we present. And if you want to go into the description, you very much can do that to see further details. We don't do drugs, no alcohol, no weed.
So I can't bring a bottle and get a tattoo?
You know what I mean?
Okay, I can't bring an eighth and get a tattoo.
I can buy that myself.
I just wanted to know. That's for a friend.
But we have that. We also have something that we have for the shop. A lot of people use close friends for a lot of things for personal issues. We provide close friends for people to get discounts. You have to go through these steps. It could be something as simple as making 10 shots on the court right here. Something very easy to get into this close friends. And with the close friends, it would be tattoo parties, free tattoos, merchandise giveaways, a whole bunch of stuff on the 9 yards. So that's pretty much it. Last thing that I also provide, we have our merch, of course, our T-shirts, the Ink Therapy T-shirts right here. And also, we make our own ointment. So, so the ointment is very much provided for people to clear up their eczema. It is used for tattoo aftercare cream, moisturization. I put in my hair, my beard, and all that stuff as well. So it's like a multi-purpose use. We tend to make that for people with melanated skin, so their skin can glow, and to take away from the negative toxins that you put in your skin as far as like tattoo aftercare. So
shout out to the melanated. Okay.
It's Black
Shout them out for melanated hair care, skin care.
Highly celebrated.
Highly melanated, highly celebrated. Always imitated. Okay.
Yeah. We try to keep it right. Pouring and snoring it.
Oh God, we would love that. No. So what's going on with you, Tesa?
So I got a dope podcast that I do with 3 lovely ladies, Coach Vaughn, Jessica, and Angie. Escapade to Expansion is what the podcast is called. Y'all can check it out, Escapade 2, that's lowercase I, expansion.com. I'm also a life coach. I help people think differently, feel differently, live authentically so that they can live more fulfilled lives. I'm trying to get a tattoo. Somebody needs some life coaching. I get these tattoos coming up that I got when I was way too young. That look a mess.
I feel you.
Yeah.
We can provide some service, you know what I'm saying? Trade Tuesdays, you want to give me some life lessons? I got you.
I'm going to show up because I need that.
I like that. I might have to get a tattoo. I ain't figured it out.
I can set up right now if you want me to.
Oh man, that would be crazy. We might have to, that might be the part 2. Speaking of part 2, Project 9419 has phase 2s coming up where we are focusing more on community service. So we'll be doing a shoe drive coming up, a back to school drive hosted by yourself. I hope by yours truly, by myself, to reach out to the community. This lovely sweatshirt I have with the A Young is a PG County original. Nice. Shout out to PGCNTY on Instagram who supplied me with these lovely threads. It's nice and warm and comfy.
Yeah, I need
and I love it.
I got it Instagram too.
They like that. Yeah. I plan to do much more work with them, so that's coming with Harris on the mic. I also have my nephew right here, Mr. 777 himself, Esoteric, who created the jean jacket for me. Shout out to Devon right there for that. Okay, so let's get into the nitty gritty. Let's talk about dating. Let's talk about dating. Let's talk about the friend zone, right? I want to talk about friend zone and ghosting. Haven't we decided to do it? Let's talk about the friend zone. If you decided, what makes you decide whether you want to put somebody in the friend zone or not? That's what I want to hear from Tesa. Trey, I'm gonna put you on hold, Trey.
Please.
I want to hear from Tesa on this one.
Such a loaded question.
Why do we friend zone versus just cutting people off together all the way around?
I love the way that you stated that. I have dated, I have been out on a date and, gotten to know men and thought that they were really dope individuals, like really dope, great guys. But the chemistry, the connection, the vibe just wasn't there. And we had that conversation, and it just because I was transparent and I didn't ghost, right?
Okay.
And I thought that they were really dope, amazing people. We transitioned to a friendship, right? So the reason why I guess that I maintained a friendship versus just ghosting people, or why I put them in the friend zone, was one, like the chemistry, for whatever reason, the chemistry, connection, compatibility wasn't there. But I was honest about that, and I respected them and valued them, and I thought they were dope. So I wanted to continue to get to know them, and them us to be friends. Now, I will say this: there was no sex involved. I want to make that clear.
That makes a difference.
Yes, it makes a big difference. That line of sex was never crossed, right?
Okay.
We literally just went out on a couple of dates, got to know each other, via conversation and sex, and
Text,
that was
it. Not
text
sex.
and conversation. Text and talk.
And talk. Okay.
Right. Text and talk and dates, in-person dates. And just being transparent about, like, the feeling just wasn't there, and we have an amazing friendship now.
So he's a great guy, just not your guy. Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
That's a good way of putting it.
That's
I like that. Honestly, the friendship thing, like me putting people in friendship is basically because like it could be beneficial towards me. Like if I need somebody to just talk to, you know what I'm saying, to get my feelings off, that's fine. Nothing doesn't have to go even further from that if we just need to just be friends, Like I didn't put females in friend zone because we couldn't have the same conversation. We talked about a lot of stuff way different. I done met women.
There you go.
Hey.
We're being gracious. We're being gracious. You get it, my man. I appreciate it.
But I definitely, I've been with women before that, only thing they could talk about is other people, And that's not something I want to do, because how can you focus on yourself worrying about somebody else? You know what I'm saying? So that's something that I pay attention to at the same time. But like I said, if it's a beneficial human being that I can be friends with, then we're gonna keep it at that level. And I never went past it in that situation. Like it's been times where women still wants to be friends and still wants to have sex, but we have to set that boundary. We have to set that barrier, because you can't cross that line.
Okay, so let me ask you this. I'm the host, right?
I'm excited.
So you say that you meet a young woman, but you keep her around because it could be beneficial to you. What if it's not necessarily beneficial to her? How do you make that call? Because if you say like, if she try and see what that be like, if she try and see what's going on with you, and it's like you're not there with her necessarily, but she may want more, but you like, nah, it's the friend zone kind of situation. What do you do with that? Or how do you portray it in a way that's clear, or do you? Or is that your problem?
Honestly, I'm not gonna say it's not my problem, because at the end of the day, I have to be the one to correct her on that situation. But at the same time, it's just being very transparent. I think in the beginning of the situation, you would know if you want to take it further or if you don't, based off of the conversation that you have, just getting to know each other. So if I give off that energy that, yes, I want to take that furthermore, like everything comes from a vibe. So you would feel that. You would feel that, like, I'm coming on to you and you coming on to me. But at the same time, for me to give that person the time to tell her, like, this is not going to be that. It just being upfront, just being straight up. It might break her heart, but at least I was honest, you know what I'm saying? And I don't want to sit right here and keep you away from finding your true love, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's a lot of people force themselves into relationships, but they blocking a blessing in the reality, So if I'm not that person for you, I'm just going to let you know, and I will help you find the next person.
I'll be your wingman.
Not you gonna help her.
I'll be your wingman.
Okay.
I'll be your wingman. If it ain't me, like, let's go. I ain't tripping. I ain't tripping. What about yourself, Tesa?
You did that.
I have a question. So, like, say you met a chick, right?
It's still on me.
Yeah, well, because you said something.
It's a spotlight.
It sparked something in me. You dated, y'all went out on dates. No, let's say, like, y'all went out on dates, whatever, y'all had sex, all of that. And you was like, you know what I mean? Like, you're not for me. but we can still be friends. But you know that she wants to be with you, right? Are you going to entertain that friendship?
Nah, probably not.
Be honest.
I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not going to entertain that friendship.
Okay.
Yeah. I promise, like, to be completely honest, no, but what am I saying wrong?
You're not saying anything wrong. Shout out to the audience.
Yeah, I feel attacked right now. Like, this is crazy.
You say.
Where's my brother? You know what I'm saying?
You say.
You know what I'm saying? We got all, you know? But honestly, I'm gonna say no because like it gives that energy that I still want this. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to have that portrayed because if I want this cut off, I need it to be cut off.
Yeah.
You know, because if I still give you that opportunity that it can be something, it's gonna turn into some crazy vibes. I don't like it. You know what I'm saying?
And I think we have to be intentional again about that, because I'm the good guy. I don't want to hurt nobody's feelings.
I hate hurting.
I don't want to hurt nobody's feelings. I don't want you to think that you did anything wrong. It's just not us. So like, yeah, we can talk about the game or we can do whatever, but I'm not pulling up. You can't pull up, you know what I'm saying?
Boundaries.
And that used to, let's go back to boundaries. That used to work for me until you get into a relationship, because it's not happening. It's like, well, why are they around? And it's like, you know what I'm saying? You can't do it.
Right.
But I'm the one that'd be like, okay, yeah, we can be friends, or like, it'll be cool. I used to check you good, you know.
Stuff like
and
that.
And then it does get that. It's like, well, why are you doing all that? You must, no, I don't like you like that, but you're a good friend. Learning with the boundaries, like I have to be responsible enough to be like, if you came at me wanting this in the beginning, me saying I don't want it is not going to make you want it any less. Right. So for the both of us, it's got to cut.
Come on.
And that's not always, my girl over there amening.
Come on.
She amening real loud. But that's just, you can't be the good guy and somebody else's person and somebody's guy, because
that part.
You got to do the dirty work.
Yeah.
You got to do the work. So we're saying that if you've crossed that line sexually, because what happens if you cross that line sexually and you like, it's not really friend zoning now if we're being responsible, or are we just cutting it? I guess what I'm asking, can you be cool with somebody can you be cool with an ex, or can you be cool with somebody cordial that you crossed that line with?
No.
Period. Okay.
Period.
Yeah.
Unless you're my
We
child's father, and I only got two. Unless you my child's father, nah. That's a whole lot of murky water, and I don't like being in murky water. I like clear water.
So you said white sands and blue water.
Nah, that's facts. That's facts. I mean, I think me, with my daughter's moms and everything, like we still have a good friendship, because it's like at that point it's bigger than what we had going on. You know what I'm saying? Like we have kids and we need to take care of these kids. So in that situation, yes, I can still be friends with them. But when it comes down to somebody who we really didn't have no connection with, we didn't really build nothing on, we would just have sex and that was it. Oh yeah, you got to get cut off. Because it makes me liable of what you have in mind, you know what I'm saying? And I don't want to have that to happen to me.
I get that. Respect. That's controlling your swing. That's being responsible.
I answered that with pride.
You did. I like that answer.
I was getting attacked from all angles, and I did not like that.
The ladies are happy in the building.
I'm telling you,
that. We are not. We are right out here.
What I say, I said, I'm treading light with these asses now. Like,
all right, so let me ask you this. If you were dating someone and you found out that you look like their ex, would you continue in dating them? So you find out you look like Old Slim from back in the day.
if I'm a rebound, no, I'm not.
That's not necessarily a rebound.
Yeah, that's not necessarily a rebound.
So let's clean it up. Let's say you might be a few guys later. It may not be her most recent ex. It may not be his most recent ex. But you look like somebody that they have shared a life with. Would you continue?
I mean, I would continue because I'm me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
I don't care how that person came before. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm my own individual. So clearly you with me because he ain't do it. You know what I'm saying? Better than what I'm doing. So yeah, I'm not tripping off that. Like,
How you feel, Tesa?
Yeah, I mean, like, check your insecurities, right? Like, we all gotta.
That's a big one.
People got types, you know what I'm saying? Personally, ain't nothing wrong with that, you know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. Like, just because you look like somebody don't mean you are that person. Like, you bring your own energy, your own person to that relationship. Like,
so is it a red flag that you look like they? Is it a red flag that person only pursues their type?
nah.
No.
I don't think so. No. I don't think
so. Okay.
Especially from a man physically, like
nobody else matters. Like, let's be honest.
like
I don't care what you thought you had before. Everybody is minimal to me.
I know that's right.
You
Come
really
on.
didn't work out. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Other people are not, there probably are some instances where I should be, I'm not going to say insecure. There's never a situation where you should be insecure. But there are situations probably I should be more aware that I simply do not care.
Yeah.
Like your ex lingering around or, baby, they ain't me.
Yeah,
you know they ain't me. I know, and they soon to find out. So I don't care about that stuff.
It only should be a care if your person is entertaining that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I can see if your ex still trying to come around, damn you every day, this and that, like, yeah, we're gonna have a conversation.
We're gonna have
about
a real
this, you know what I'm
problem,
saying?
first of all.
Yeah, like, why is he doing it? You know what I'm saying? Like, but everything, I'm not gonna get mad at him. I'm gonna be more mad at her because how are you responding?
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So,
why does that person think it's okay to keep?
Right.
exactly.
That's where you get in trouble.
You know what I'm saying?
I
So
can feel
like,
it. I can feel a look coming through the side.
pull your head down a little bit more.
I was just feeling this
Just turn your body. You know? Right. But no, that's it. It's just all of how that person handled that situation. You know, I didn't have, I had a situation where it didn't get like out of hand or nothing like that, but an ex of mine, she tried to come back into my life, and it's like, no, you gotta go away. You know what I'm saying?
You stiff-armed her.
Yeah. Watch
Should
out.
have. Period.
You know what I'm saying?
Should
'Cause,
have.
you know, like, and I think if, you know, my other half is looking at this situation, she's going to look at how I'm responding to this.
Absolutely.
You know, so
Yeah.
I think that's just the biggest thing.
I think it rolls with the handle it so I don't have to. And that's just with anybody.
That too,
That's
though.
with an
Yeah,
ex, that's with your mama, that's with your drunk friend, that's whatever. Handle the situation before I have to handle it. Because if I have to handle it, I'm not taking y'all into consideration.
Yeah.
I don't care if y'all friends after this conversation.
Yeah.
Right.
Because it got to me and it should have never gotten to me. If I got to handle it,
Everybody
on the line.
Yeah.
Everybody could get it. Everybody could get it. Let's talk about friendships and relationships. I want to go back to friendships and relationships. Let's say you're in a relationship and your partner comes and complains to you about things that happen at work. And let's be frank, you don't care.
Nah.
How do you have that conversation? Or do you bite one for the bullet? So if he come home from the gym or he come home from work talking about, oh, Mike this, Mike that, it's always a consistent, like, they always talking about work in the place that you don't really care about, but they want to talk about it. And it could be a venting situation, it could be coming to you for advice, but they just coming to rant off about what's going on at work. Same thing with you. If it's a young lady that you're dating, she always talking about, you know what I'm saying, sharing them in the office, they always doing this. But you honestly don't care. You care about that person, but you don't care. How do you handle the situation? Do you communicate that?
Me handling it, I would see. Of course, I'm gonna hear you out. One thing my dad always told me is listen. You know, always listen. I'm not. If it's to the point where it's not very important to your life, oh yeah, we're gonna cut it off. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't stress about it. It's just a regular day at work. Leave it at that. But if it's something where it's really getting to you, we're gonna figure out the issue and we're gonna coach you how to either overcome that issue or how to ignore it, you know.
Okay, leadership.
Yeah.
Okay, leadership. We'll take it.
Because, I mean, it's sitting right here and gossiping about the situation is not solving it because you're going to go back to work and be in the same field, you know what I'm saying, the same situation. So,
Right.
yeah, it needs to be coached about it, and we're going to leave Phil alone, you know. like, for instance, like, I don't know. That's just how I feel about it.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
So you're going to have a conversation about it?
Yeah, I'm going to have a conversation about it.
And see how they can move through it.
And then that shows me how you feel about it too. Like if you're very emotional about your coworker doing something that costs so little, then clearly you have some emotions towards that person or towards, you know, the energy is off. So it really gives you a lot of answers that you need without even talking about that specific, you know, topic.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask you why you don't care. Because if you're in a relationship with somebody and a person is opening up to you and having a conversation with you about something, like it's an opportunity for you to learn your partner more, right? Like again, don't be in a relationship always thinking about your damn self and what you get in. Like we so selfish. Like if a person's coming to you and talking to you, like are they constantly complaining about something, right? Like, what are they complaining about? Like, it's an opportunity that you probably can help them grow in, right? Or maybe it's a sign that gives there's an insecurity that lies within them that you can speak to, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, paying attention. What are they talking about? If they're talking about it constantly, it means something to them. And if it means something to them, then why doesn't it mean something to you if you love that person?
I'm going to counter it because I'm going to ask you, why do you care so much?
That's a great question.
I'm gonna say if you're coming home to me and it's sharing this, sharing that, I'm like, why do you care so much? You're still getting paid. You're still able to do the job that you want to do. Like if it's other things surrounding that we need to change. If it's you hate your job and sharing is the target, then let's figure out how we can get you somewhere else.
Can I, as a life coach, can I offer you something right there?
Please. Oh Lord, on camera.
Stop at the why does this bother you so much?
Why does this bother you so much?
Let there be space. Let the person talk.
Okay.
Without offering a solution.
Right.
Without offering your opinion. Allow the person to speak what's on their heart, because if they're bringing it up, they want to talk about it for a reason.
Okay.
But can I counter that? Why wouldn't you give your opinion on it?
Go ahead. I'm sorry, I cut you off.
You're fine. I'm only asking because, like, clearly you came to me to get some type of resolution from it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
false.
False?
Sometimes
might
people
not.
just want to talk.
Respect.
And
They
keep it
literally
practical. I don't think there's anything wrong with saying, I hear you. Are you coming to me because you want me to do something? You trying to pull up? Mm-hmm. Or are you coming to me just because you want to get something off your chest? Or do you want to hear my point of view about it? Because a lot of time, especially in that when a woman comes to a man, we just want to vent. Mm-hmm. We just want to take the bra off and take the wig off and just, that's just what it is. It may not necessarily be for you to take action. Mm-hmm. Yep. I don't think it's anything wrong, and I actually put in the practice, like, where you want me? Where do you want me on this one? Mm-hmm. Because if you try and pull up and see what she trying to get boogie, we can do that. But if you just trying to just let you know what I'm saying? If it need to be a pull up, it need to be a pull up. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. I think it's just a matter of, like, where do you want me? Because I don't, just like, you don't want to, well, here's the answer. If they're not looking for an answer, and then it puts them in a place like, I just was trying to let you know I'm not really looking for anything. Yeah. Or starting that conversation off with, I'm not really looking for anything, but this is really bothering me right now.
I think, my bad, go ahead, do your thing.
I was just gonna say, and think about it like this. Every time that we open up and we offer somebody a solution, we take their power away to figure it out themselves. Like our goal, right, is literally like, we don't wanna be anybody's handicap in this world. Like we want everybody, the people in our lives to be self-sufficient, to be able to figure out shit on their own, right, as much as they can, right? So give them space and time to do it without offering it. Yeah. Unless they ask.
Because that codependency is not.
Yeah, it's a real thing.
That codependency is a real thing.
I think personally, like if somebody's coming to vent to me personally, I let them talk, I hear it out, because everything is about learning your crowd. One thing that I can recite, that I can relate my business to, I had to be with a lot of people and be with a lot of different personalities in one day, you know what I'm saying? So I have to learn what to say, how to say it, when to listen, when to shut up. So when you can relate that to your personal life, you know how to respond in damn near every situation, you know? So I've been in a situation where they would vent all day and I would give them my personal opinion on it, and I would be like, look, you are your own person, you have to figure out your own path. But if you coming to me in a way where you clearly need somebody to tell you how to do something, then yeah, I'm going to give you the best advice that I can give based off of what I know. So it's really just learning the conversation, and it's like learning your crowd, but you just got to
know your audience.
Yeah,
know your audience.
So.
And again, I just want to put out there that we are not therapists, we are not counselors, we are not professionals. Please go see somebody. I'm pro therapy. I am pro therapy. I'm in therapy every week. But we're not it. We're just regular people having regular conversations, just sitting here kicking it. This is what I want to get into. If a woman says, "Oh, I get this," we're not even going to make it strictly towards women. If I say, "All my friends are hoes," and I'm not, right? I'm not. I don't get down with what they get down with. Or let's say if you have male friends, you have guy friends. They all cheating on their peoples. They all dirtbags. Do you still continue to hang with them people? Is your relationship is your friendship with that person is at jeopardy because of their after hours or daytime activity, depending on how they get it?
I'm gonna put it like this: I mind my business.
I mind my business.
Mind my business.
Okay.
You know. I might know a lot of information about my guy friends and the dirt that they do and stuff like that. Yeah, man. At this point, I need to drink myself. This boy ain't cut.
What am I talking about?
But I tend not to get into people's business as far as their relationship problems or whatnot, because I've been in situations where I have girlfriends that will come talk to me about their boyfriend and they're cheating and all this stuff, and then I would give them advice, and then the next day they back with them. So I'm done. I'm not entertaining. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not
going through that right now.
You know what I'm saying? So if it's a situation where my homeboy girlfriend is calling me like, oh, what is he doing? What is that? I'm like, bro, be a detective. You got to figure that out on your own.
Don't call.
Yeah,
so don't call you.
Don't call me.
Don't call you.
Don't call me. I'm too busy. You know what I'm saying? I
got a business to run. I got kids. I got appointment. Okay.
And you ain't putting your stress on me. So
what you saying, T? What you saying? Are we calling you?
Yeah, y'all know the saying "birds of a feather flock together." Yeah, no, I'm not. But the deeper meaning behind that, not that you are that person, but there is a real thing about what you allow into your spirit, what you surround yourself around, what you allow inside of your mental, via what you see, what you hear, what you feel, has an effect on you. It absolutely does. And anybody that says opposite, sit more with yourself.
Okay.
Just I'm gonna just say that. Sit more with yourself, by yourself, and really analyze the relationships in your life, how people show up, and the effect that they have on you. Because the people that you surround yourself with absolutely have an effect on you some way, shape, or form.
Listen, I get it. I have a close friend that I have to talk to them sparingly because it's like an automatic drain. And from a spiritual aspect, I think, we should be mindful of our sense gates. Mm-hmm. And that's just what we listen to, what we say, what we look at, and the things that we allow around us. I'm not gonna say if all your girls is a hoe and you hanging around them, you're gonna be a hoe. But you might have some struggles that you probably wouldn't have if all your girls wasn't hoes.
Nah,
you know what I'm saying? Thank God none of my homegirls are hoes. They are all beautiful, all doing well. You know what I'm saying? We got that one, but we gonna pray. We gonna pray on that one. But I think it is a matter of keeping your space clean. Mm-hmm. And by space, I mean that's the space you occupy. Because we have jobs, you can't control the people that you encounter.
Facts.
People want a tattoo, they pay the money, they come get a tattoo.
Of course.
The place I work, it's a lot of the same people. I don't get a choice of the people that I get to spend that time with throughout the day. So you do take in a lot, but when it comes to the things that we choose, I think we should be a little choosy. Yeah. I think we should be picky with the people that we call friends and allow them to call us friends.
Yeah.
Right.
Because you don't know. And in the vein of friendships, I think it's very important to have people that will roll with the ebb and flow and the different dynamic changes of your lives. I have friends that I've had friends literally for years that have seen me go through. Like my best friend is like, look, I don't care how many times you get married, I'm gonna be maid of honor. I don't care who you get married to or how many times you do it, I'm gonna be there. And we've been able to maneuver the ebb and flow of parenting and different jobs and relationships. I think those are the key ones, your A1 day ones. That's not just only call me when you come in a party or only call me when you wanna be a dirtbag. Yeah. If I call my best friend right now, I'm like, I'm about to go be a dirtbag and she's down, you appreciate the support, but at the same time, you're kind of looking at it different because that doesn't help me as a person. Mm-hmm. That doesn't help me as a person. In dealing with friends, in dealing with relationships, does body count?
What the hell? Oh, man.
You didn't see that with Carmen?
I didn't at all.
Does body count? At our age.
You go first.
Does body count?
You go first.
And why? I'm gonna throw in why.
Oh my land. Mm-hmm. I'm so scared.
That's such a...
There's no age limit. We're all adults here. So there's no age limit. So
that's such a tricky question because people can change, right? Like somebody could be a complete busted wide open in their younger years and that completely have transformed their lives as they've gotten older.
Shout out to all the party schools.
Facts on that. I'm gonna say it matters more. I'm gonna say it matters, but in the context of who they are today.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, like you can't come to me as, having like a 200 person body count as a man.
You cut off.
You said you cut off? So she said she had 200 bodies, you're not dealing with her.
I ain't gonna lie. Mm-mm.
So you're gonna discriminate.
This world's small. So 200 body count.
200? I can't.
This world is small, so a 200 body count, you done probably got my cousin. You done probably got. I'm sorry, man.
No,
where have you been?
This area, you right about that. You right about that. But let's say we live in Texas.
It's a big state.
Yeah, let's say we live in Texas. And I'm like, yeah, my body count. Yeah, I lost count at like 150.
I don't live in Texas.
When you say it like that, I don't know if I don't have the body count conversation.
Yeah, I don't want to get.
I don't
into that
have the body count conversation. I don't.
Only reason I don't want to do it because like it's you judge right then and there.
Yeah.
You judge right then and there.
It could possibly change the view of that you have with someone in the beginning of something that could be beautiful. And I don't want it to be less beautiful because you wasn't loving on yourself properly.
Facts.
Why do we ask that question?
I think it's to measure up.
It's to judge.
It's to judge.
Like I've been in a situation where that conversation came upon, and when I got my response back, I looked at her way different, and it's like I don't get me wrong, yes, I judged her, and then I look back into it now, and I'm like, I don't know why I did that. You know what I'm saying? Because like this person is doing great to this day. You know what I'm saying? Have kids, got married, and all that stuff. And I'm not saying like I messed up a blessing for me, because it taught me a lesson to never judge. You know what I'm saying? So I typically don't bring that question up, because whatever you did in the past, that's what you done. You are here right now, and I'm here to. Even if you had a large amount of body counts and all that stuff, I'm here today to not let you add on to it. I'm going to be the last stopping body count.
Come on, Trey, are you single?
No, I'm not.
Trey is not single. He's not single.
No,
are you married?
Single. No, I'm not married.
Trey is single. Trey is single on today. No, I'm messing. Trey ain't single, he ain't single. Yeah. We are not single on the couch.
What about low body counts?
What's a low body count?
Well, they're saying they're not sexually experienced.
It's trash. So now I'm just playing.
Wow.
I like.
That's a good question.
That's a good question.
But I like the conversation of asking yourself, when you're about to have the conversation, why do you want to ask that question? If it's not from a place of, are you safe sexually, then don't have it.
Yeah.
Because why does it matter? If it's, I want to know if this person's sexually experienced, why does that matter? Because what that person likes, you're going to have to have that conversation anyway.
Find out.
What I like, what you like we should be having that conversation, right, based off of the questions that we asked earlier. Go back and rewind if y'all didn't watch the whole thing.
We're going to watch it again.
But we should be having that conversation. So who we've had sex with previously shouldn't matter outside of the context of, you got STD?
Right.
You say? You good?
Nah.
Right.
Should be, you guys don't even ask the bill of health. You never asked.
What's the bill of health?
You want to know numbers. Who gives a fuck about numbers?
Yeah.
Nobody cares about numbers.
When's the last time you got tested? Let me see your
that
results.
should be the number one
Let's go get
question
tested
right
together.
there. Literally.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you can sit right there and have a high body count and have a low body count, but still you could get something from that one body count that you got. You know what I'm
Or
saying?
still not be sexually satisfied.
I know, right. I think body count is irrelevant. I do. I think there are much more relevant, important questions that we should be asking. Like, do you have a healthy sexual relationship with yourself? What do you think about masturbation? What do you think about viewing of pornography? Do you know what I'm saying? And obviously these aren't first date questions, but have you experienced any kind of sexual assault? Because you usually don't figure those things out until it's been exposed negatively and you're like, what the F?
Yep.
When you can have those conversations before you even let her drop her drawers or before he takes his boxers off, you can have, that's what I'm saying, you gotta talk about sex. Sex needs to be talked about.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm gonna run it in the ground, and then I'm gonna make my decision off of whether I wanna go there with you off of that conversation. If we can't talk about it, we can't do it.
Right.
We simply cannot do it.
That falls down to it too, like you mentioned, like a lot of people, they sit right there and ask them questions like first day in hand. And that should tell you a lot right there.
Oh, no.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if we sitting right here paying 21 questions and all that stuff, and I ask you what's your favorite color, and then you ask me how many body counts I got.
What's your favorite position?
Yeah. What type of time, you know what I'm saying? So that kind of tells you a lot, like, oh, this person just here for one thing, you know what I'm saying? Or it's small-minded of of this conversation. But the question that you asked, you know what I'm saying, what is your sexual goals, or what is, you know, what are your kinks and all that stuff, those more into like I want to get to know you. I want to get to know your body and whatnot. And then another thing, like how I look into it, you know, one thing my dad always used to tell me, like, no means no. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
no matter how that no comes, it means no. So you don't want to sit right there and trigger something in somebody else and end up putting yourself in a position where you can either get locked up or, you know what I'm saying, you get yourself hurt. A lot of females in this world, they don't even talk. A lot of women.
Thank you. We gonna be with you. We got you.
Nah, look, that's why we got coaches, and you know what I'm saying?
We gonna grow today.
A lot of women in this world, they don't really express their sexual relationships because they either been injured by it or, you know, like they've been abused by it or whatnot. So when a man typically comes onto a woman about the situation, it triggers a lot of women because
Thank you.
Because of their past trauma or whatnot. So I'm personally not going to come into this conversation aggressive because, like, I don't know what you've been through. No matter if you had 200 or 20, that 200, you could have got abused them 200 times. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know that. So I'm going to come with you, like, and figure out what do your body wants instead of what do I want. You know what I'm saying?
And I want to add to that, when you said no means no, if she or he, if they can't say no, it's a no.
Oh yeah, it's definitely enough.
Because, and I'm not gonna get deep, we should have probably started with this, but we're talking about rape culture. If I know there's somebody that I'm sexually interested in, me saying, come over, have a drink, smoke with me, yada, 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 I got the lights set. If I'm doing anything to further convince you that you need to drop them drawers for me, it's not healthy. I need you to know you're gonna bust down before you even get here.
No. I
don't want to convince you of anything. If that's not already in your mind, that I don't want you doing it because of me.
Nah, for real.
Do it because that's what you want. Come on, let's talk, Tese. Let's talk.
No, I'm just like, can you repeat that? Can you, like...
If they can't say no, it's a no.
Yeah.
If somebody is... Because, and I've experienced it before, the phone call the day after where we shouldn't have did that.
Yeah.
I don't ever want that.
Yeah.
Because in the moment, because because we had this conversation prior going into it, but you drank a little bit too much and you wanted this and stuff that now you regret. I don't want to have that conversation because I had a time.
Yeah.
And I was free and I was open. And you know what I'm saying? I had a time.
Right.
But you didn't have a time. And so now I feel some kind of way. And now I'm looking at it different. And so it's like, I don't ever want to have that experience again for it to be like, or to be like, oh, you just scared. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, even being with a man, I've been there where I'm like, bro, you just scared. And I'm pushing because I wasn't loving on myself properly.
Come on.
And then him looking at me like, bruh, well, yeah. You know what I'm saying? So not being able, if that person, or even if you feel it, so he or she may not say, I don't really want to do this, but if the vibe, read the room. If the vibe is off, and why you sitting so far?
Yeah.
Why you sitting? Because she don't want to be close to you.
Oh my God,
like
I hate that.
You're not going to give me a hug? Baby, if I wanted to hug you, you wouldn't have to ask for it.
Yeah, no, for real.
We wouldn't be having this conversation. So I think we just ought to be mindful of, like, do your part and try your best to trust that other people are doing their part, but make room for grace if that person is not. Because you don't want to end up in a situation where, because at the end of the day, it ain't worth it.
No, it's not.
Giving somebody that part of you that either didn't know what to do with it or does not appreciate it, you can't get it back. So us at this big age, like, there are so many people out here having healthy sex. Go have healthy sex with them. But let's not deal with the brokenness of it. Let's not deal with the brokenness of it.
You don't want to give your energy away to anybody.
You don't want to give it energy. We're going to go ahead and wrap up. I thank you guys for coming to sit down and rap with me. I think we really touched some really good things.
Definitely.
Shout out to Project 9419. Shout out to V and Ash. Shout out to our audience that came to support us. To our cameramen and our engineers, and to you, Trey, for allowing us to use your space.
Yeah, dope.
We have tattoos going on right now.
Literally.
I just want to say thank you. Thank you guys, everyone, for coming out and traveling. We're going to eat good, drink good, and have a good time for the culture. You can follow me on Instagram at Harris on the mic. It looks like Harrison, but it's Harris on the mic. We have Ink Therapy. How can we follow you guys on Instagram?
So the Instagram, it would be Ink Therapy. Once you ink.th3 and then therapy. Don't give me, you know what I'm saying? You can follow me personally at Trinity's Inc. Trinity's.inc, where most of my creative content is on there and
yes,
all that
sir.
stuff as well. So yeah.
Y'all can follow me on social media, Tesa_Renee, TESA_RENEE. My website is tesa-renee.com.
Okay.
Cool.
And shout out to PG County Clothing and Apparel for the A Young sweatshirt. I appreciate it. PG Bred and Born. V, thank you so much. I want to drag you on camera, but I won't. But we just want to say thank you to the black man with the vision.
Yeah, with the
y'all
vision.
stay, shout out to that guy. Yes, and we will always support it. Y'all stay tuned for phase 2 because we're hitting the community soon. So just make sure y'all check us out. Again, thank you to everybody that's had a hand in taking what is taking place today. And I guess that's a wrap.
Take some shots.
Take some shots. Let's take some shots. Take some shots. Take some shots. We good to go? Yeah, let's eat. We gonna eat real good.
Oh yeah.
We gonna eat. We still rolling.
We doing our thing, you know?
Keep the music. Say nothing.
Well, you got no.
Next time.
I got my phone.